अज्ञान तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मधुर मधुरमेतन् मङ्गलं मङ्गलानां सकलनिगमवल्ली सत्फलं चित्स्वरूपम् सकृदपि परिगीतं श्रद्धया हेलया वा भृगुवरनरमात्रं तारयेत् कृष्णनाम। नमः कमलनाभाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वं ह देवमात्म बुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Seekers of divine knowledge, let's begin by chanting Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala. While doing Roop Dhyan on the divine cowherd, the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala Bhajo Giridhar Giridhar Govind Gopala Bhajo 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 Giridhar Govind Gopala भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला। भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला। भजो मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला। भजो मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला। भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला। 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 भजो मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला। भजो मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला। भजो गिरिधर गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला। भजो 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 गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला। बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। Devotional listeners, now I humbly request your full attention. And if your distraction is with you, if your phone is with you, make sure, please, that it will not ring. And please refrain from using it during the lecture. Thank you. Yesterday I started the topic of sadhana, devotional practice. It was reminded to you that devotion is of two types. The devotion that we are practicing under the guidance of Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, a Maharasik saint, is Raganuga Bhakti. It is spontaneous devotion. It is devotion that is born of love, not out of fear. Vadhi Bhakti is the other devotion. It is based on fear of scriptures. Scriptures say that if I don't practice devotion to God, I will attain residence in hell for some time. I will have to suffer the torments of hell, so I must practice devotion. Vadhi Bhakti has a lot of rules and restrictions in it. Raganuga Bhakti doesn't have small rules and restrictions. It has one big rule, one overall rule, and one overall restriction. And that is, Smartavyah Satatam Vishnu Vismartavyo na jatu chit, Padma Puran. There is one do and one don't. One rule, one restriction. Do always think of God. And do not ever forget Him. Raganuga Bhakti is not concerned with small rules and regulations. There's just one big rule and one big restriction. And as I said, it is born out of love. Shri Krishna is my own. He is my one and only. He is my everything. I want to love Him. I want to practice devotion to Him. So this devotion, we learned the theory of it. And then we went into the practical side of it. We must learn how to practice devotion. In this devotion, when we practice Raganuga Bhakti, you don't have to think about the time when you are practicing it or the place where you are practicing it. Na desha niyamas tasmin na kala niyamas tatha. Desh meaning place, kal meaning the time. There is no hard and fast rule about the time when it must be practiced and or the place where it must be practiced. Many people get very concerned about direction. You must face the east because the sun rises in the east. That is why. You must purify that place before you sit there to practice devotion. But there is no place which is pure, because countless sins have been committed there. However, when we take the name of God from our heart, when we truly take the name of God with love, then the place where we are sitting becomes absolutely pure. It becomes absolutely pure. We become purified externally as well as internally. Yasmaret pundarikaksham sabahya bhyantaraha shuchihi. By meditating on, by doing Rup Dhyan of the lotus-eyed Sri Krishna, Pundarikaksha, one becomes purified externally as well as internally. What other thing is there to be purified then? One becomes completely purified by taking the name of Sri Krishna with love. When Bhishma was dying, he said to the Pandavas, I want you to cremate my body where no one has ever been cremated before. After Grandsire Bhishma's death, the Pandavas took his body to the most remote corner and to the deepest of caves and to the highest of mountains. But every time they wanted to cremate his body in that spot, Mother Earth would say, Shatam Bhishma. The same Bhishma has been cremated here hundreds of times. There is no place which is pure. But God makes every place absolutely pure. When we think about God, then that place becomes absolutely pure. We become purified. Our surroundings become purified. We must not get caught up with small rules and restrictions. We must practice devotion to Sri Krishna with all our heart. To think about the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, Radha and Krishna, the scriptures have recommended that we take the help of bhajans and kirtans. Hare namaiva 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 mama jivanam kalau nastyeva 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 gatiranyatha. Skanda Puran. In Kali Yuga, the only way to unite the mind with God is by chanting the holy name. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. Bhajans and kirtans are the only way, the only way, the only way. God has emphasized both these points 3 times in the same verse. Hare namaiva 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 mama jivanam, and then the negative. Kalau nastyeva 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 gati ranyatha. In Kali Yuga there is no other way, no other way, no other way. So that we may not have any doubt. The repetition is necessary. To emphasize that there is no other path, don't even think about it. In this age of Kali, silent meditation simply doesn't work. That method is reserved for Satyug. It was recommended for Satyug. Yagyas, havans don't work. That is a method recommended for people of Treta Yuga. Ritualistic worship does not work. That is a method recommended for people of Dwapar Yuga. So it's all very simple. We must simply chant the names of God, the glory of God, the Leelas of God, so that our mind is reminded of God. So we must have our own personal little shrine in our room or wherever we can get some privacy. This is just repetition of what I had said yesterday. And we must keep a reminder of God there and reminder of our Gurudev there. And we must chant, we must sing. We must sing the bhajans, we must chant the sankirtans. Loudly, meaning not so loud as according to the situation, according to our circumstances, not so loud that everyone will wake up, because remember, you're trying to do this devotion early in the morning so that there are no distractions. Everyone is asleep in the family and you're doing this karma sannyas sadhana. And you're singing the names of God, doing kirtan and bhajan. Bhagwan Sri Ram says, Mam gun gavat pulak sarira gad gad gira nayan bahanira. Bhagwan Sri Ram, sitting within Saint Tulsidas, says to all of us in such beautiful words, my children, when you take my name, when you chant my name, when you sing my songs of my glory, then look out for 3 reactions, physical reactions. Pulaka sarira gad gad gira nayana baha nira. You should have goosebumps on your skin. There should be a lump in your throat. Your voice should catch in your throat. You should not be able to take my name easily. You get all choked up while taking my name. And there should be tears of love flowing from your eyes. These are the 3 physical reactions that must be there as you take my glorious name. Tears are an essential part of devotional practice. Sri Maharaj Ji used to wonder why this concept is not taught. It's not taught so much. Everywhere there are lectures going on there are temples, there are leaders, religious leaders. They are saying, take the name of God, utter the name of God. But no one is really saying, think about God, do Rup Dhyan. Sri Maharaj Ji emphasized the concept of Rup Dhyan. Unke divya roop ka dhyan karo. Visualize his divine form. Visualize the divine face of Sri Krishna. Visualize the divine body of Sri Krishna. Visualize the divine pastimes performed by Sri Radha and Krishna. Visualize them. It should be like a movie being played in your mind. Use your imagination. Let your imagination fly. Give wings to your imagination and imagine Radha and Krishna in Barsana, in Vrindavan, in your home, on the beach, at your school, at your place of work, everywhere. In the bank where you go to do your banking, at the dry cleaners, at the grocery store. Visualize Radha and Krishna everywhere. Because Prabhu Vyapak Sarvatra Samana Prem te prakat hohi Bhagavana. Because God is equally present everywhere. But now as we are doing Karma Sannyas Sadhana, we are in our room and we are trying to focus the mind on Bhagwan. We are trying to shed tears. We are trying to develop or increase our love for our Ishtadev. Now here, Brahma Sutras, Vedant philosophy. Brahma Sutra, Vedant, same thing. So the Brahma Sutras, there's a Brahma Sutra that says, Asinaha Sambhavat. As you do sadhana every day, you should be in the sitting posture. You should be sitting down. You may think, well, isn't that obvious? What will I be doing? Jumping around? I'm sitting. No, but just to make sure you're sitting and not lying down in bed. Because that's a very attractive thought, isn't it? I'll just get up in the morning and the first thing I'll do is do my Rup Dhyan. I'll just close my eyes and I will do my devotion right in bed. No, asina sambhavat, sit down. Because if you're laying down, you're going to be very relaxed, very comfortable. And you know about Gudaka, right? Gudaka, goddess of sleep. She comes. And she takes us in her embrace. And of course, we can hide our embarrassment and say, I wasn't sleeping, I was meditating. But the fact is that we fall asleep. If we are too comfortable, Sri Maharaj Ji would walk around in the hall. He would, let's say there's two sides, just like over here. There is a piece of carpet in the middle. Sri Maharaj Ji is walking on the piece of carpet. It's much wider than this. And Sri Maharaj Ji would be looking at devotees. And from time to time, he would tap on the shoulder of a devotee or give a little tap on the head and say, sit up straight. Because when we don't sit straight, we become a little too comfortable. When we slouch, we become a little too comfortable, and then we fall asleep. So Vedanta Sutras are giving us a very helpful hints into what we should be, how we should be, what our posture should be as we are practicing this devotion, as we are doing sadhana. So asinaha sambhavat, we should be sitting down, as opposed to lying down, and as opposed to standing. If you're standing, you're going to be too uncomfortable. And as opposed to walking around. I'm walking around and doing my sadhana. Because we are a fidgety generation. We're very fidgety. We cannot sit straight. If someone says sit straight, then it's either the leg is moving, the knees are moving, something or the other is moving, because our mind is moving around. We can't sit still. So can I just walk around and do sadhana? No. Because then your mind is going to become much more mischievous than it already is. So the best thing to do is to sit with a straight back. That's a very alert position. And by the way, this is the reason why it is good to take a shower or bath before you start this sadhana. Mind you, that's not because it's a sin not to take a bath before you engage in sadhana. No, God does not care about that. However, you are going to be more awake if you have taken a bath. If you have taken a shower or a bath, you're going to be much more alert. From a very logical and practical point of view, it is recommended. Shri Maharaj would say to everyone, don't come to the sadhana hall without taking a bath. So we would get up very early in the morning and we would take a bath before going into the hall. And we still do. Shri Maharaj has taught us that. So there are very logical rules that we should follow. So when the Brahma Sutra says, asina sambhavat, that's a very logical suggestion. Sit in an alert position. Sit with a straight back. And achalatvam chapeksha. Don't be moving around. Achal ban jao. Don't be moving around. Be stationary. Then your mind can also become steady. And for this reason, it's important to have privacy and it's important to have quietness. Many people tend to move away from quietness. It's too quiet, it's driving me crazy. This quietness is driving me crazy. I need some sound. There are moments in our day that we must be totally silent. Silence is very good for us. So it is important that we sit in a place where there's no traffic, there's no foot traffic at home. Let's say you're sitting in the middle of the living room, and that's not a quiet place. Family members are coming and going. So sit in a place where you are sure to get privacy and peace and quiet. And then do your devotion. Do sadhana. Yesterday I spoke about the sentiments that we should develop as we are doing sadhana. Those sentiments go from dasya bhav right up to madhurya bhav. He is my loving master. I am his humble servant. He is my eternal friend. He is my child. I am his mother or father or guardian. And he is my beloved. He is my priyatam. Shri Maharaj has said thousands and thousands of times that we should form a lover-beloved relationship with Shri Krishna. Hanath ramana preshthak kvasi kvasi mahabhuj dasyaste kripanaya me sakhe darshaya sannidhim. Bhagavad Mahapuran. When Shri Krishna disappeared from Ras, the gopis were devastated. And they were searching for Shri Krishna all over the place, in every nook and cranny of Vrindavan. Radharani was with Shri Krishna because he had taken her with him. But she is so merciful that she thought, Priyatam Sham Sundar has left the gopis and they are devastated. I must offer them consolation. So Radharani pretended to become proud. She said, Priyatam, I don't know where you're taking me. I am exhausted. If you want me to come with you, then you must pick me up on your shoulders. She said with pride, which was not real. Shri Krishna thought, oh, Kishoriji has become proud also. And I cannot tolerate pride. Where there is pride, there's no God. Mind you, this is Leela of Bhagwan Shri Radha and Krishna. Is there any question of Radharani becoming proud? No. Or even of the gopis becoming proud? No, but this is Leela. So Radharani pretended to be proud. Shri Krishna left her as well. And then Radharani met up with the gopis at one point. The gopis said, we cannot find him. We are looking for him, Kishoriju. Radharani said, you cannot find him by looking for him. Sadhana ghairana sangai ralabhya suchiradapi. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. There is no sadhan. There is no means by which you can find him. You cannot find him through self-effort, O gopis. Then how can we find him? Will we never find him? No, you will find him. He will come to you. When will he come? When you shed tears for him. So Radharani and the gopis sat down on the ground and they cried for him, and they chanted his name. They sang songs of his glory and his pastimes. And Radharani said, Ha Nath, O my Lord, Ha Nath Ramana Preshthak Kwasi Kwasi Mahabhuj, O delighter of my soul, where are you, O mighty armed one? I beg you to come to me. I am your humble servant. Dasyaste kripanaya me sakhe. You are my sakha. You are my friend. Give me darshan. Grant me my wish of having darshan, your darshan. So here Radharani is forming all sorts of relationships with Sri Krishna. And we must also. He is my Lord and Master. He is my friend. He is the delighter of my soul. He is my beloved. He is my all in all. And we must do what Radharani has told the gopis to do. We must shed tears for him. We must cry out to him as we sing songs of his glory. Tears are extremely important. In fact, they are something we cannot do without. Tears are an indispensable part of devotional practice. Asuvan jal sinch sinch prem bel boi, ab to bel phail gayi, anand phal hoi. Mirabai had said in such exquisitely beautiful words, Asuvan jal sinch sinch prem bel boi. I have nurtured the vine of love with my tears. And now there is a sweet fruit that is growing on this vine, and that fruit is divine love. Mirabai says that she has cried and cried for Krishna, and that is how she attained him. Kabir Das ji says, Kabira hasna dur kar, rone se kar preet, binu roe kin paiya, prem pyaro meet. O sadhak, O aspiring devotee, no one has ever attained God without crying for him. So you too must cry for him. Hasna dur kar, rone se kar preet. Fall in love with shedding tears. Hasi hasi kantana paiye, jin paya tin roe. Whoever has attained God has attained him by crying for him. The desperate cry for him. That love, that there must be that longing in the tears. That I wish to see you, I want to see you, I have to see you, I must see you, I must have your darshan. There has to be a longing that must be developed. It doesn't come overnight and does not come without making an effort for it. Because people say, a lot of people say, and we have this saying that प्यार किया नहीं जाता हो ही जाता है. You've heard that. Love is not something you need to practice. If you're feeling sleepy, just take that hint from Brahma Sutra. Just sit with a straight back. And you may be meditating with your eyes closed, but I would appreciate it if you keep your eyes open. Thank you. So, tears are essential. No one has attained God without shedding tears. Many people, a lot of people don't understand. They'll see someone crying for God, and that is very rare in the first place. After lifetimes and lifetimes, after thousands and millions of lifetimes, we finally learn, with the grace of God, a Rasik Sant appears in our midst, and we learn from him that we must cry And we have a couple of tears and people will say, why are you crying? You shouldn't cry. Are you depressed? Want to go shopping? You need a vacation. You're crying. You're getting very emotional. Who should we get emotional about? We have been getting emotional about the world. We have gotten emotional about the world countless times. In this life, if we're becoming emotional for God, that is very desirable. Sri Maharaji was told that there is a devotee who's crying, and she's been crying for hours. And Sri Maharaji said to the one who gave Maharaji the news, she said, Maharaji, Didi's been crying for hours and hours. And Maharaji said, that's very good. Let her cry some more. Don't stop her. Let her cry. Crying is good. When we shed tears of love for God and Guru, it is only then that our heart becomes purified. Remember the words of Adi Shankaracharya. Shuddhayati hinantaratma Krishna padam bhoj bhakti mrite. Devotion to Sri Krishna purifies the heart. It is impossible to purify the heart without loving Sri Krishna. So when we shed tears of love for Sri Krishna, then Sri Krishna comes into the heart. Our heart melts, and Sri Krishna enters the heart because it is for him that we are shedding tears, so he enters the heart. If we are shedding tears for the world, oh, I wish I had more money, and I'm crying for that. I wish this person could be mine, and we're crying for that person. Why, we even cry for inert and things. We are crying for insentient objects. We are crying for creatures, lower creatures. We cry for so many people, crying for their dogs and cats and the like. Sri Maharaji had said to a devotee who was crying, and she said, Maharaji, my dog died, and it was a very painful death. And she wrote a letter to Sri Maharaji. In those days, we used to write letters, and Sri Maharaji, then she called, and Sri Maharaji came on the phone. That was Maharaji's humility. Maharaji would come on the phone, he would speak to devotees. So Maharaji took the phone, and she said, Pranam Maharaji. And she said, Maharaji, I sent a letter, did you receive it? Maharaji said, yes, I received it. And Sri Maharaji then said, have you not understood anything of my philosophy? Did you understand anything? You have not. Here I am trying to teach you to remain detached from people, and you are becoming attached to a dog. There's no doubt you will become a dog in your next life. And she was so frightened. She said to me, never again will I have a pet. But then the daughter said, Mommy, we need another pet. And you know how it is? A parent's attachment to the child, I don't think anything can top that. She said, anything you say, Bitya. Once again, there was a dog. So whatever will happen, only God and Maharaji know. But Sri Maharaji had said this. So when we cry for the world, our mind is going to become more and more impure. That is a fact. I'm not going to give you a political statement that, of course, every creature has God living within them. But the fact is, if we are going to become attached to a dog, then what is our future going to be? What are we going to attain? Here we are trying to detach our mind from family and just do our duty towards them. We're trying to detach our mind from people, and on the other hand, we're trying to attach it to other creatures. It doesn't make any sense. Not for an aspiring devotee. It does not make any sense. So, but when we shed tears of love for God, then those are wonderful tears. And Sri Maharaji used to say, keep on crying for Shamsundar until he comes personally to wipe your tears away. Keep on crying for him until he himself comes and wipes them away. Many times when we are shedding tears for God, there is mixture of worldly sorrows in that too. Yes, I want to see you, Shyam Sundar, but I haven't seen my son for 3 months also. I want to see him too. So there's a mixture. Oh, Shyam Sundar, I want to see you so badly, but it's because someone has mistreated us. A loved one has mistreated you. So you're thinking, oh, Krishna, it is only you. Only you are mine. And then that loved one says, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Never will I ever behave like that again. And we say, okay, Shri Krishna, you can wait. My loved one is in my life again. He loves me so much. So when we are crying for him, oftentimes these tears are contaminated. They're not only for him, they're also for the world. But when we are shedding genuine tears for him, then he will have to come. He will have to come. Because tears attract him greatly. Because love attracts him greatly. He is in love with love. And to develop that love for him, as we are sitting down and doing karma sannyas sadhana, we must do Roop Dhyan. Is there a more important word for an aspiring devotee than Roop Dhyan? No. Roop Dhyan is the most important concept. To think about Sri Radha and Krishna, to visualize Radha and Krishna, any which way that we can. Many people say, I haven't seen Krishna, so how can I visualize him? Well, fact is, we've seen him countless times, but we didn't realize that he was God. We didn't recognize him. Anyway, so now what's done is done. But how can I meditate on him? How can I visualize him? Shri Krishna says, that's easy. I'm not giving you any specific, there's no specifications. Like when you think of me, you must think me to be like this or like that, my hair to be exactly like this, or the shape of my face to be like this. Now, saints who have had darshan, they have described Shri Krishna, his beauty to us. And thank goodness for that. But even if they had not, we can just let our imagination go free, let it go soaring, and we can just visualize him according to our personal preferences. Now, saints have said that Shri Krishna Chandra's face is round. It's round. And he has very curly, jet black, curly, silky hair. His eyes are very long and they seem to extend up to his ears. His eyes are a mixture of mischief and sweetness. His forehead is very broad, it's very large. His arms extend down to his knees, like we sing from Bhagwan Ram's Aarti, Ajanu Bhuj. His bhujaye, his arms, extend down to his knees. So we have been given certain idea. We've been given very good ideas. The complexion of Shyam Sundar, we hear that it is blue. Well, what kind of blue? There are so many shades of blue. First of all, that blue does not exist on earth, so we can't compare it. But Sri Maharaj Ji has said that if you look at the flower, linseed flower, alsi ka phool, early in the morning, when the first rays of the sun fall upon this flower, the color of the flower is somewhat like the color of Krishna's skin. There is the coolness of a lotus flower, a blue lotus, in the complexion of Sri Krishna. There is effulgence in that color of his skin. So Rasik saints have given us very, very good ideas. Once Sri Maharaj Ji was sitting in the angan, in the courtyard, and for devotees of Sri Maharaj Ji, when we hear the word angan, it could be any angan. When you hear the word angan, our mind goes to the angan in Mangar, Sri Maharaj Ji's birthplace. The angan as it looks today, or the angan and the angan as it used to look many years ago. But it's the same place, the Angan, the courtyard, where Sri Maharaji would distribute so much sweetness to the devotees. So in the Angan, Sri Maharaji spontaneously started talking about Krishna's beauty. And we were listening to him. Our eyes forgot to blink. We were just mesmerized by the descriptions Sri Maharaji was giving. We could not look away. We could not think anything. We were so mesmerized by all the wonderful information Sri Maharaji was giving. He was going in such deep details. We were sitting in disbelief. We had never heard anything like that before. And it was all so spontaneous. And after about half an hour or so, when Sri Maharaji stopped talking, he said, true to his self-deprecating style, Sri Maharaji said, well, I mean, I haven't seen him, but I'm just taking it's a guess. That's what he must look like. And we all laughed. हम तो कल्पना से बता रहे हैं, हमने देखा थोड़ी है. And Sri Maharaji explained the fragrances. This fragrance is mixing with that fragrance. Shri Krishna, the fragrance of Shri Krishna's body is mixing with the fragrance of the banmala, the various flowers, how they are mixing. It wasn't just as simple as that. It became so detailed that we're just looking, oh my goodness. And then Shri Maharaji said, हम तो ऐसे ही कल्पना से बता रहे हैं, हमने देखा थोड़ी है. So we have been given very good hints as to what he looks like. Scriptures say that we should think about Shri Krishna to be anywhere from a newborn stage to 16 years of age. In Golok, Shri Krishna does not, his age does not go beyond 16. He's always 16 years of age, no older than that. But you can think of Shri Krishna to be of any age. Tvam Stri, Tvam Puman, Tvam Kumar, Utava Kumari, Tvam Jirno Dandena Vanchasi. Shweta Shvatrupanishad says, O my Lord, you come to this world and you deceive this world by sometimes appearing in it as a little boy, sometimes as a little girl, sometimes as a young man, sometimes as a young lady. Sometimes you appear in the world in the form of a very old man walking with the help of a walking stick. Dandena vanchasi. So you can imagine Shri Krishna to be of any age. You can imagine him to be very dark or very fair. After all, what is the difference between Radha and Krishna? One is extremely fair, the other became extremely dark. But one personality. Yeyam Radha Yascha Krishna. Radhikopanishad. The color of his skin is left up to us. His age is left up to us. His pastimes are left up to us. We can create any pastime. You must not think, oh, I have never heard that Shri Krishna plays baseball. Of course he does, but it's not in the scriptures. It's okay. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. Countless are his pastimes. And one of those pastimes is that he plays baseball with his friends. He's playing baseball with you. Oh, I don't think he has ever eaten ice cream. Of course he will eat ice cream. Pizza too? Yes. I don't think Shri Krishna wears shorts, does he? I'm sorry to ask this, I'm so embarrassed, but of course don't be embarrassed. Shri Krishna wears shorts. And Shri Maharaji has said, think about it, if Shri Krishna takes birth in your family and in the year 2022 and you're living in the West, how are you going to send your child Krishna to school? Wearing pitambar? He'll become the laughing stock of the entire school. You will dress him just like every little boy is being dressed. He will dress like every other child. So how he is dressed, it is left up to us to decide. What are his pastimes? Is he wearing ornaments? I've heard that he wears lots of ornaments. And some people don't feel comfortable with that. That's okay. You can have few ornaments on him or no ornaments, none whatsoever. That is fine. Well, can I have him playing the piano instead of the flute? Absolutely. That's okay. There is no restriction. And that's what makes it so easy to do Rup Dhyan. That we can just let our imagination go wild. We've never heard that before. Because before Sri Maharaj Ji said it, no one had ever said it before. No one had ever specified it to that extent. Sri Maharaj Ji has specified it so much and clarified the concept of Rup Dhyan so much that we become eternally grateful to him. He has made it so easy to practice devotion. So we must do Rup Dhyan as we are sitting in front of our altar, in front of our shrine. We are singing bhajans and kirtans, and I don't think I have to tell you, but I will, for the sake of those who may be listening at other places, via the medium of YouTube, that Sri Maharaj Ji, Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj has composed thousands and thousands of bhajans and kirtans. And those bhajans and kirtans take us to so many different moods. Sometimes they take us in the mood of supplication. We are praying to him with tears in the eyes. Those are songs of humility and supplication. Sometimes it's a totally different mood. It's a playful mood. Now we are in a playful mood, and Sri Krishna is playing, he's being mischievous, and we're singing those songs. Sometimes Sri Krishna is with his Maya, and they're having a conversation. Sometimes Sri Krishna is with the gopis, and this is a lover-beloved relationship. Sometimes there's a friendly relationship with Sri Krishna. Those bhajans and kirtans are inspiring us to think of him to be our best friend, our eternal friend. So there are so many different moods that you can go into using these bhajans and kirtans. In other words, all the tools have been given to us. Now what we have to do is to use them. So we are doing Rup Dhyan while sitting in your room. You are going to different places. Or if you prefer, you are in your puja room and you are thinking of Sri Krishna to be there also. And whenever the mind goes to the world, and it will. Why? Because it is accustomed to going into the world. Why? Because we have given it freedom in countless lives. We gave our mind freedom to go into the world. We said to the mind, Jao beta, sansar mein khelo. Go and play in the world, because the world has happiness in it. So our mind likes to go to the world. It likes to go to the world. We can watch a 3-hour-long movie, Bollywood formula movie. And we say, after watching it, and our eyes are glued to the big screen, small screen, whatever screen there is, tiny screen, and we say afterward, Are, wohi formula, wohi ghisa pita formula. Same old thing, nothing new under the sun. And yet, the mind was very interested. And this movie, the same person says, I watched this movie 5 times. So the same old, but there's so much interest in watching it even for the 5th time. But 1 hour of satsang, 1 hour of lecture can give us the yawns, the sleepy eyes. I'm so tired. Look, we fall asleep, we look here and there, we are impatient. I'm not talking about anyone over here, of course. But there are so many people in the world, or 8 billion people. But you know how it is. Our mind prefers the world. It's a fact. It is a fact. So Rup Dhyan is a remedy. Rup Dhyan. And when we are doing Rup Dhyan, it will go to the world. So Sri Maharaj Ji has spoken these amazing words and he's given us this amazing solution, he says, wherever the mind goes, you take Lord Krishna and put him there. And these are such simple words, but they have made so much difference in so many lives, so many devotional lives. Because everyone had always heard, when your mind goes here and there, bring that mind back, that mischievous mind, scold the mind, get angry at the mind. Sri Maharaji says, don't get angry at the mind, let it go. Let it go, just like that. Let it go to the world. Absolutely, let it go. That's it? No, let it go. And then put Shyam Sundar there. Shyam Sundar is also there. And the mind goes, oh, when did you come here? You're here? I'm trying to get away from you. So the mind goes somewhere else. And Shri Krishna goes there also. Ultimately, Shri Krishna wears the mind down, and the mind says, well, he ends up coming to wherever I am, so I may as well stay with him. It's a matter of practice for all of us. It is a matter of practice. We have not gained expertise in any area of life without practice. But we call ourselves very logical and very intelligent people. I'm an intelligent person. I'm an intellectual. I'm very logical. Yet I think that I will attain perfection in devotion without putting in any practice. There's no logic in that. We need to put in our time, and that we need to do practice, and that practice is called sadhana. Karma sannyas sadhana, karma yoga sadhana. While we are engaged in works of the world, we must think about him. We must train our mind to think about Shri Krishna every so often. Sadhana is the very life of a sadhak. Sadhana, sadhak ka jivan hai. Shri Maharaj used to say, sadhana is the very life of an aspiring devotee. And Rup Dhyan is the very life of devotional practice. So we must do sadhana. From sadhana we attain siddhi. We attain perfection through practice. And we know this. Practice makes perfect. We know this. Every child knows this. Practice makes perfect. Just like in the worldly area, in the godly area too, we must put in the hard work. We must do practice. And practice does make perfect. With the continual guidance of our Gurudev and with the continued grace of Sri Radha and Krishna, when we practice devotion, then one day we shall definitely reach our destination. Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.